Welcome to part 3 of our Newfoundland epic road trip. On this one, we'll cover our road trip from Rocky Harbour to aux Meadows via Port aux Choix, still along the western coast of Newfoundland. On our way up, we stopped at the Broom Point Fisherman exhibit. Not much of an exhibit, but beautiful coastal scenery of a typical fishing village. Second, we stopped at Shallow Bay Beach. Even though it was fairly windy, the water temperature in the bay was quite warm. Still not sure I'd go in, but kids were enjoying it. This is a very beautiful beach that can be walked on for a few kilometers for sure. Third stop, Arches Provincial Park. The Arches is one of the most photographed sites in Newfoundland with its unique geology. It used to be a mound where the ocean clawed at it with the tides and waves carving the arches out of that mound. Today, there are 3 distinct arches, while there used to be 4. Worth the detour, but be aware the parking lot is not really set up for long trailers and it is quite narrow. On arrival to our campsite in Port aux Choix, the view and setup was to die for, except the 50 km/h wind gust deterred us from having our regular happy hour outside. Campground has all the necessities, and even big rigs were around us, but nobody outside, maybe with a snowsuit? Next morning, the trailer and the car were covered in salt. Hope it rains soon. Next day was a busy day. We headed over to the Port aux Choix historical site, where many distinct waves of ancestors roamed the land for fish, fur, and meat. It has been a very busy place for the last 4,800 years. The historical site visitor center was quite nice, explaining all the different waves of inhabitants, while outside we had a herd of caribou waiting to be photographed. Wow, nature at its purest. Nearby, the Ridge Point Lighthouse in all its glory. On the other side of the peninsula, there's a small trail bringing you to the Phillip's garden with its very rocky hedge. The meadow could easily sustain a few hundred people while protecting them from the ocean wind. Then headed to the French Room's bread oven to see how bread was made a few hundred years ago while it was still a French territory. The bread was amazing with some fancy molasses and jams. Nearby, we stopped at the French Room Cultural Center and see how Newfoundlanders of the 1960s got moved from desolated area due to cuts depletion and centralized to nearby villages. Of course, while in the village, visiting art galleries, we ended up buying an art piece from Ben's studio. Ben is an amazing storyteller. We could have sat there for a few hours listening to the tales. It's a must-visit art studio. Our next destination is aux Meadows historical site up north in Lunaire-Griquet. It's as north as you can get in Newfoundland. The scenery is pretty hilly, with vast rugged boreal forest, and the roads are very bad, so bumpy everywhere. Of course, you follow the Gulf of St. Lawrence, and it must be quite nice, except when it is foggy, and it seems to be very foggy every day. Makes it very special. Arrival at the Viking RV park was uneventful, friendly folks and nice campground with lots of black flies. Yeah, I guess we're in North Canada after all. The main reason to be this far north in Newfoundland is to visit the aux Meadows historical site where Vikings landed and established a small village 1,000 years ago. That predates whatever we've been taught in school that Columbus discovered the Americas. Oh well, it's good to have a verified version that some other fearless adventurers accomplished that task without the associated glamour. The site is quite big, with a nice visitor center, a boardwalk trail walking you through some visible remnants of the village, to finally leading you to a reconstructed longhouse with actors bringing you back to that era. If you like history and archaeology, the site is worth a visit. We spent 3 hours doing it all, and along the way, we even saw some remaining icebergs. We are in mid-July, and they are still lurking. Very special even though we saw them from afar. Nearby, a similar site is Norstead, which is also a reconstructed village with a newry. A newry is a large merchant transport ship that could have weighed over 42 tons once loaded. It's all made of wood, mostly pines and tamaracks. Again, Not sure I would do well traveling in such a boat, but the Vikings were ahead of their time with their shipbuilding and navigation skills. Also on site were weavers showing off their skills, but due to a fire ban, some of the other exhibits were tamed down. The site was also worth it, and from there you can get on a small hike climbing the nearby hill, and on the other side we saw another iceberg. Those things are beautiful. On another day, we went to Ship Cove, and on arrival, not much to be seen until we decided to go over the hill to a lookout point. Wow, another bigger iceberg. That was amazing as we were closer. Those things are massive, never get tired of looking at them. That night, we had a great dinner at the Norseman restaurant, pan-seared cod and lobster on the menu. We've heard that St. Anthony was the iceberg and whale watching spot, so we headed over there hoping to see some more. Unfortunately, no icebergs left, but we saw whale plumes at large. That will qualify as we saw some whales. Nearby the Fox Point Lighthouse were a couple of easy hiking trails with some very nice scenery of cliffs. Talking about cliffs, there is the Daredevil Trail that brings you to the top after 476 steps. Not that bad of a climb, and the view is really nice along the way, and once on top, you have a nice view of the Fox Point, also called the Fishing Point, as well as the St. Anthony town. On our way back, we stopped at the Grenfell Museum. Grenfell was a very famous doctor back at the beginning of the 20th century. Look him up on the internet. He has some very interesting stories, and one that is bone-chilling, being stuck on an ice cap overnight. For dinner, we had some local freshly fished cod, and it was very tasty. Our final day touring the area, we went to Conche to see the French-framed Tapestry. It was almost 2 hours away, and many people recommended the visit, and it was definitely worth it. The tapestry is about 225 feet long and really nicely done, representing the different eras of the French shores. Unfortunately, due to copyrights, I cannot display it here. Check the links below this video to take a peek at it. Afterwards, we wandered around the area and visited Englee, nice little town with lots of history and a beautiful hiking spot near the point. All of it was worth the detour. With that, we conclude this episode, and we'll see you soon in the Twilling Gate area.